Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. So Mike has some questions. I will try to answer.
Okay, there's plenty of questions since I've been here for, was it 22 days so far? Okay, yesterday I wanted to ask you about the traits of Shiva. I'm more of a Christian mystic because I was born in the West. My father was an atheist, but I got closer to Yeshua a few years ago when I had my big health transformation. So what are the traits of Shiva? Because what we focus on expands. So who we focus on expands. That's part of all the positive books out there. Yeah.
Okay. So there are the various names of Shivas. Pashupati, Bhairava, Sadashiva, Mahashiva, Kala Bhairava. So there are the numerous names. And every name has significance. Okay. Human mind like to see everything in the form name.
Yeah.
Then it makes sense because they look through the five senses. Okay. So whomsoever felt that particular energy, they gave that name. Okay. And as I say, every name has the story behind it.
Yes.
So if you ask like what is a Shiva, then it is like what happens are the other characteristic of a Shiva. Okay. This will be the quite long discussion only on the Shiva. Okay. So in the spiritual way, the Shiva is the consciousness, pure consciousness, pure bliss. Okay. And Shakti is energy of a consciousness. So now here we see is non-duality.
Would Shakti be the material world or?
Energy of a consciousness. See, everything is getting manifested over here. There is some energy.
Sure.
It's working.
E equals MC squared.
Yeah. So, but conscious energy makes the conscious manifestation.
Okay.
Okay. So this Shiva is in everyone.
Yes.
If you say the Sadashiva, as I say, another thing you need to be in the Indian culture on the touch, not on the books and the pages, and not on the what is shown on the media and the screen. You need to be living over here to experience that. Like a normal person is there, that person, like people say, oh, he's a Sadashiva. Sadashiva means Sada means always. Shiva is in the bliss. Okay, that doesn't mean like he is always sitting in the blissful position. He is absolutely the normal person on the material world. But he doesn't have any grudges, complaints or anything. He will keep on doing his work as a Sadashiva. Okay. What matters to him like a bliss, but he is doing all his karma. Okay. Now, why we chant various mantras of the Shiva? Like I had shared certain mantras, and the one mantra you are practicing, and it showed a lot of improvement in you. Right? Now let's understand the one mantra of a Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya.
Yes.
These are the Panchakshari, 5 letters, 5 syllables. Okay. Now
5 frequencies.
Yes, 5 senses, 5 elements.
Yeah.
Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. As we know, our body is also made of these 5 elements. So when we chant Om Namah Shivaya, these 5 elements in our body start purifying. Okay? Now here, the Om, I'm still keeping the separate. I'm just taking Namah Shivaya.
Yes.
Because Om also has its own explanation. It can be another one round.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here the Om is taken as a pranava. Okay. So you can have the Om at the beginning, at the end. So it's absolutely depend upon the Guru who shares that mantra.
Yes.
Why? Because Guru has experience
Mm.
the energy of those mantra. Guru knows what will be helpful to the student.
Yes.
Okay. So here we comes to the 5 elements. So all the 5 elements in our body start vibrating and purification.
Mm-hmm.
5 senses.
Yes.
So we do all the karmas in the influence of our senses.
Mm-hmm.
What I said at the beginning, Shakti is the energy of a consciousness.
Yes.
So your senses start radiating or functioning under the consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now this is Vedokta or our whatever the Hinduism or spiritual explanation of this mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a lot more. It can get dragged. Now let's come to the medical science of it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what makes our communication more interesting, right?
Yeah, it's the bringing together of the two. I mean, I knew that as a doctor when I was younger. Acupuncture was starting to be financed by the Medicare.
Mhm.
I've heard that the meridians are more coarser energy than the subtle body.
Mhm.
So obviously the frequencies through the cosmos are much higher frequencies, and then when it enters the body, it becomes coarser, and then matter is more like frozen energy. I think they've got chambers on YouTube showing electro-frequency light going through some chamber, through some gas,
Mm.
and then it starts to form matter because it's a slowed down vibration.
Okay. So now you have also done the chakra system over here.
Mm.
You are aware of the elements of the chakras.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you chant this mantra, your chakra get purified.
Mm-hmm.
Your chakras are your astral wheel.
Astral wells, right? Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good way of looking at it.
And those chakras had certain blockages.
Mm-hmm.
They vibrate in the certain frequencies if there are the blockages and if they are purified.
Mm-hmm.
They help you to manifest all the material things, spiritual things, emotional things around you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason they are called your astral wheels of your life.
Yes.
Okay. So your chakra get purified with this mantra chanting
Mm-hmm.
through that elements. This happens with very micro level, but it's very effective, which we experience.
So what are you saying? The more you do it, the better it is, or the more intense you do it, the better it is?
Yes. Okay. Moving further, the brain condition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This mantra chanting helps in the GABA.
Mm-hmm.
What's the GABA?
GABA is a
Neurotransmitter.
neurotransmitter. Yeah, it's got to do with anxiety and.
Exactly.
Mm.
Your sleep hormones,
Mhm.
you know, your responding to the things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as you say, the anxiety. Okay. So those GABA neurotransmitter
Mm-hmm.
get more stronger
Yes.
and which help the brain's frontal
Frontal lobe. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So then it helps your vagus nerve,
Mm-hmm.
which take care of all other organs in your body.
That's the parasympathetic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So West or the people knew only like a little simple way. Oh, you chant Om Namah Shivaya. This will happen. That will happen. That will happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not mere the blind faith. There is a science is there.
Mm-hmm.
So when Vedic knowledge and the medical science
Mm-hmm.
combine together, it will make more sense to the today generation and definitely will give us the better access for the betterment of humanity spiritually, physically, emotionally.
Yeah, and that makes sense because when I was younger, living in Sydney, I'm a Kiwi, but I was living in Sydney. A book came out called The Tao of Physics. The Tao of Physics. It's pronounced different ways by different people. And I saw it on the bookshelf. At that stage, before being a doctor, I wasn't doing that well in school, mainly due to home life. But it made sense, So when I saw it, it made sense. So what's the difference? Because, there's so much on the internet now, and I'm really pertaining to the West. I've done many courses with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it was fantastic. He brought science into the room. He had Professor Hamel Patel from University of San Diego University. He was a professor for NASA. And so he was talking about the science of the cells and DNA and entanglement and quantum physics and health, obviously. But what are the dangers of doing lots of Kriya and Pranayama yoga, which Dr. Joe Dispenza is doing? He's calmed down a bit with the breathing of it, where we used to breathe so much and breathe into our different centers and contract our rib cage and hold the energy and focus on the say the pineal gland. And he gave us lots of information on the pineal gland. So knowledge helps us visualize and do the work. What are the dangers of doing that?
Okay.
Not to put anyone down, not to make someone wrong.
No.
It's just helpful for the West.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. So, see, the two names you took, I'm more aware. I'll be able to talk about our Vedic way. Okay.
Yeah.
But what you shared, I understood your question.
Yes.
Okay. I'm only entitled to talk what I have experienced.
Yes.
Does and don'ts on this path, which were prescribed by our seers and sages.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the West got the spirituality, attraction, or way recently, like a couple of centuries, you can say, right?
Yeah, we heard about the things like the Rosicrucians that led to the Enlightenment when they released Plato's books.
Okay. But here, these seers and sages have kept this knowledge thousands of years back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, normally it happens like you have something in front of you and you don't value that. Something happened here in India with this knowledge as well.
It's true.
Okay. Now, doing the intense breathing practices.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the breathing practices you are also doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one more thing you notice over here, that every person in our retreat had a different breathing techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's right.
Different words.
Mm-hmm.
Because every body is different, every soul is different, every life is different. How you can put everyone in the same tunnel? One is that.
Okay.
Second thing,
Mm-hmm.
arising the Kundalini. That is a big hype in the West.
Very
big hype in the West.
It's a Western mentality. Just get it quickly.
Quick,
I want it
everything
now.
they want instant.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, whatever they like it, they will go extreme in that.
Especially type A personality, but yeah, the West tends to do that.
Okay. When you came over here, like initially for 1 week, it was sounding very difficult for you, and you were saying, "Oh, can you do just a little faster?" And the faster the process. So what is there? Not only the destination, in that process you learn the things, because Kundalini arising, whether it is done with the breathing practices, or the mantras, or the Guru's energy. It has to be done by the slowly and gradually, because on that process you collect a lot of wisdom. You can only collect the good thing when you filter the things which are not good for the life and this further path. I'm not saying any bad thing, because whatever is good at this moment may not be the good in the future.
Sure.
Whatever is bad but may it had been happened previous. So there is nothing called bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it changes time to time, person to person, situation to situation, truth, you know. So in that process,
Mm-hmm.
persons start seeing the things as that soul or the person is destined to. So in this process, guru and the disciple has to be the patience, and guru will reveal the things slowly, slowly, slowly.
Mm.
As you reach over there, sometime you ask me the question, and I will answer you when the time comes.
Yep.
You will experience it,
Mm.
right? Question is right, but wait for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And after a few days, you comes and answer, oh, it made sense. This is what it comes.
Yep.
This is what is revealing to me.
Mm.
Am I right?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I was, after sort of struggling for almost 4 years now, after the incident, I wanted things very quickly.
So this is how.
I wanted that special spell, to transform everything quickly.
So how do you feel now that this process helped you more?
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. I've only been here 22 days and I've spent a lot of energy and time trying to heal around the world. And it hasn't been easy, but it's been very effective. So I can feel the neural networks opening up. The love and care that you give makes a big difference, because I said in the other video that I had a real broken heart. But as I went for a beautiful walk around the 4 kilometers around the block here, looking at the mountains and the
energy around over here.
It's very good. Coffee plantations.
Yeah. So quick fix doesn't work because it doesn't let the real yourself to come out.
Yes, and also I've noticed, because I remember my father when he got a speeding ticket, near the airport, and every time he took me to the airport, which was a lot when I went to Auckland, he would slow down like a lot, like down to 30 kilometres instead of 50 kilometres an hour. I said, Dad, what are you doing? He says, oh, a year ago I got a ticket there. So when I went through my trauma, it was very extreme. I don't want to go into it. And the imprinting was so strong, and I kept on going around in my head. So I want to ask you another question, because I'm noticing my thoughts now, and that's important, because I couldn't really do it before because I had such high PTSD, or they call it complex PTSD, that I couldn't really do silent meditation. So doing the chanting and stuff was amazing, but I started to notice the thoughts. Then when I went around the block, I listened to my great teacher, Dr. David Hawkins, and he said, near the end here, a 4 kilometre walk, he said, one of the hardest things to break for people is forgiveness and being a martyr, and which is really specific for our time, but also now there's wars going on in Ukraine and Russia and Israel and Gaza. So it's all coming up in our consciousness. And he says the only way you're going to heal is to forgive, but you really need a spiritual way of doing it, because victimhood is one of the biggest forces now in our society, being a victim.
Sure.
And he says most people can't get beyond it, and their ego feeds off it. Sure. So I just listened to that before coming up here to discuss some questions and answers. And I know your story, and you call it Maya and other things, but how can you help people that have been through major trauma and major heartbreak? And I know at a higher level, some people say 5D, you manifest everything, but we're not in 5D at the moment. We're in 3D, and we're in these sort of bodies, these avatar bodies that store memories. Mm-hmm. The cat gets frightened when it gets shooed away from the driveway. So how can you really help people? Because you went through a lot, and that's why I came to see you. There was a resonance there, because what I went through, I don't want to go through it on the video here, but it was extreme, as you know. So how did you get through your extreme journey, and to forgive everyone when you lost your children and so forth, and had the head injury and so forth?
So in our as you know that my spiritual journey started early childhood. And revenge was never there in our talk or communication. My mother always forgive. The simplest thing, I remember in the school days, I had a best friend who was next door neighbor, and when she doesn't go to the school, next day she will come and ask for my notebook, and I will give happily because I help, But same situation, she will not share her notebook. And I told my mother, look, she's not sharing her notebook. Next time she come, I will also do same thing. And on that my mother said, no, forgive. Okay? No revenge. Because when you forgive, but don't forget. Okay?
Yeah, well, we'll go into that later. Yeah.
Forgive, but don't forget. Okay? When you forgive, you don't forgive the other person. You release yourself from that trauma attachment. Okay? But to come to that level of forgiveness, I have to go in the different dimension to see the things, what happened. As I shared earlier with you, that my life has been always in the sound of a spiritual path, guidances, And when you come on the earth, you do forget your path. And sometimes it's very difficult to hear your guardian angels are talking.
Yeah.
You see only this moment. But what is stored there for, you don't see at the moment. So this moment, you will feel like it's a disaster, So here I will say, you can forget your destiny, but your destiny will never forget you.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So the cosmos, everything will push this because you have that destiny. So after seeing all this thing, and then another thing, like what you store in your heart and mind is manifest further life for you, and also releases the hormones, etc. in you. Okay. So your heart and your brain, I always say, is a treasure, a locker. We say a simple way that this body is a temple and the soul is the God residing. Okay. And the heart is the priest who worship this temple and the God. Okay. So it was the good thing happened when I lost my memory. I came to know how the memories works. Okay. And when the memories started coming back, it was full choice for me which to recall and which to discard.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow. Yeah.
So I have a recycle bin in my brain, which I periodically empty. Okay. So this keeping good thing, whatever people share to me, so I have all that treasure of the people's good thing they share to me.
Yeah.
So my journey is with the good thing and experiences because I have forgiven them. It's not something great thing. I've been selfish over here because I release myself from them.
Yes.
Okay. They change or doesn't change is their destiny. But change happens in us.
Yeah.
It should happen in us. So you release the thing. Okay. So now I carry my future life with all those assets I have of the positivity, love. Right? So there's one more experience I will share over here. Like in earlier India, when we cook the food, the rice will have some stones. Okay. And like I was cleaning the rice and I saw some stone, and sometimes like being little also you like to have a little big words. And I said, Mama, this rice are full with this garbage, stones and all. She said, okay, how many you found it? I said, yeah, see, look this, 10, 15. But she said, rice is almost 1 kg. How thought you found it 10, 15?
Not much.
Look, sweetie, God has given you beautiful eyes to see the beautiful things. It's your words, your intention, where you want to focus your eyesight. So I started focusing only whatever good is given.
Makes sense.
That helped me to release,
Mm.
to release myself, heal my body,
Yes.
mind, and expand my soul energy.
Mm.
It wasn't easy because mind always need to know the reason.
The reason, yeah. Especially when you go to university and you have to know reasons for things, yeah?
Because
Whether you're an engineer or a doctor.
Yes, that's how it has been programmed.
Mm.
So here, how much is too much is also we have to keep it in mind.
Mm.
Because that dissection never ending process.
I've noticed that, yeah, the last 4 years.
So you go on, why?
And you go around this.
Okay.
Mm.
So you should know where to stop. As Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi says, first you are a seeker,
Mm-hmm.
then you are surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment you stop the search, you will experience.
Mm.
Okay. So even yesterday also I explained you something. And in earlier video we said there is a 5 types of yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Karma yoga, dhyana yoga, and 5 types of yoga. So jnana yoga, if you remember I said the jnana yogi, everything comes in front of the jnana yogi, he will like to dissect. When the God comes in front of him also he will ask, oh, are you sure you are a God? What makes you are a God? How can I believe you? Okay, you are made from these molecules, this. He will go inside. Okay?
Never ending, yeah.
Never ending.
Mm.
Okay? But when there is the bhakti yoga, devotional yoga, you see the God or Brahma in stone as well. So on the spiritual path also, how much is too much?
Mm-hmm.
We have to limit. Once I was in a Hampi. Hampi is a ruined Dana city.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And there are big temples. India is a land of a temple. Okay? And that time I was beginner alone. I just wanted to expand the experience, the world and all. So in the temple, there the worship happens and they give the prasadam.
Mm-hmm.
Some offering will be given. So normally this offering is the sweet in the North India. So we are like this from the childhood, we like to have that sweet.
Mm.
And it was a very hot sun and all, and I was really wanting something to put it in my mouth. And while there's a big campus in that Hampi of the temples and all, ruins are there. But then I said, the Ganesha temple is there. And I said, there is something I can see, the flower. I think there is a worship and I'll get something to eat over there just to put it in my mouth. Okay. It's a huge, big temple. I went inside and there was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There was no worship was happening over there. And I felt very sad. Like what happened? This place, this statue, once upon a time worship. And now why they don't do the worship?
Mm-hmm.
So I asked my friend, who is a very well-known artist from the Hampi University. He said, look, there's a part of his belly, it chipped off. So once the statue is chipped or any part of a statue is broken, we don't worship. Okay.
Wow.
But I felt very sad. I sat there for the meditation because I wanted an answer. And my mom has showed me this way. Keep quiet, meditate, you will get the answer. So I sat over there for the meditation. Okay. And I said, when artist makes the beautiful sculpture from the stone and we ask the artist, wow, it's so beautiful, how did you make it? And the artist answers, oh, I saw this thing in the stone, I removed the extra stone.
Mm-hmm.
That is the answer artist gave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I said, if little bit extra stone is gone, the godlyhood of this statue is gone?
Mm-hmm.
That was my second question.
Mm.
When the artist made this such a big, huge Ganesha idol, that time also they would have said same thing. We saw the Ganesha in this statue stone. We made the Ganesha and we started worshipping the Ganesha. As a little bit more stone is gone, the godlyhood is gone from the statue. Then I heard the voice. Human being leaves faith and the hope. God never created himself. The human being created the God.
Mm-hmm.
So my journey has been like this. Self-guru
Mm-hmm.
and the Paramaguru.
Mm-hmm.
So all this helped me to be who am I, where am I, and what I can contribute and share to you people.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, there is no am I as well, because I'm not me.
Mm.
Everyone contributed to me to be where this body or the mind or whatever you say is
Yeah.
there, this,
This instrument.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people who touch my life knowingly, unknowingly, everyone has contributed.
Sure.
So it's not me who is contributing.
Mm.
All the people who touch my life knowingly, unknowingly, the Brahma you call, Shiva you call, my goddess, my mother, my father, everyone contributed.
Yes.
So it was my free will
Mm.
that what to carry further with me.
Mm.
So I carried those things, and what you become, you radiate that.
It's true.
One more thing, you always have a question. Brahma and Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So there are the two faculties in India. The people see through the Brahma. Everything see through the Brahma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The other is a Shivatva.
Mm-hmm.
Shaivik.
Yes.
They see everything with the Shiva.
Shiva, yep.
Okay? If you ask anyone how the Brahma looks, not a Brahma.
Mm-hmm.
Brahma.
Mm-hmm.
Brahma is absolute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Which your West also says like a God is omnipresent,
Omnipotent.
shapeless, formless.
Yeah.
So we have
Indescribable.
Nirguna, Nirakara.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have any characteristic. It doesn't have any shape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So some people will see everything through the Brahma. But as at the beginning I said, the human being like to see thing in the form. So Brahma, absolute truth, is no shape, no characteristic,
Yes.
nirguna, nirakara. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then what to hold for?
Yes.
Okay? So journeying starting from the Shiva of a duality makes easier to reach to the non-duality.
Mm-hmm.
This only the terms are different.
Yes.
Essence is the same.
Yes.
What I said, I told you the story of Ashtavakra.
Mm-hmm.
That have you seen the Brahma?
Mm-hmm.
And that what he said?
Mm.
Brahma is not to be seen. Brahma is to experience. And once you experience the Brahma, you don't remain you. You become a Brahma, and when you become the Brahma, you start seeing Brahma in everything.
Yeah.
That is a experiencing of the non-duality and becoming one.
Mm.
When I said the Shiva, that when you worship the Shiva, you become a Shivamai.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the only two different names. Path is the same.
Path's the same, yep.
Destination is the same.
Mm-hmm.
But following Shiva, as he has been given fame, name, characters, this, that, the human mind becomes the easier, and we have to experience. Then only we can believe.
Mm.
If the day when you came over here and I said, oh, you have to chant this mantra, it will help you in your GABA, in your neurotransmitter, it will help you in the chakra. What you would have said, hey lady, I'm a medical student.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Doctor.
Yeah.
And you would have said, oh really? Oh, she's saying. But now you have experienced this.
Mm.
And today I'm talking about the GABA and the neurotransmitter benefits of this mantra chanting.
Yeah, it's
So journey also matters. It matters to Guru how to share the information.
Yeah, it sort of makes sense because many things can help. You know, you studied psychology, and we did too in medicine. But there's limitations to psychology, but it's helpful. But you're right; it can keep on going and going and going to a never-ending story, and that never-ending story has to stop at some stage. You know, it's helpful to have because you get a better idea to be thyself, know thyself, love thyself at the Delphic Oracle, which I've been to in Greece.
And the West, the West also helped me in this because, as I didn't share with you, I've done the neuroplasticity, rewiring your brain, the addicted brain, and I'm also a student of the Harvard Open School.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which gives me the technical thing.
Yes.
What happens the technically scientific way in the body, brain, and emotions, trauma, etc.
Mm.
And then I see this thousands years old Vedic science.
Mm.
And then it helps me to combine. So that's why I said when the science
Mm.
and the Vedic science work together, the transformation can happen.
Yeah, because that's when I came here. I asked you that question. I said my heart chakra, or the meridians, as they say in Chinese medicine, the springs were activated in the bed for 2.5 years. 2.5 years it was going for. And I came here and said, can you help my auric body? Because I know that Einstein said the field creates the matter. Tesla said the same thing. He said if we learn about the field instead of learning about materialism, we'll gain decades in our science. So we're heading in that direction. So when I came here, the world that watches the internet now will know about auric fields and chakras and so forth. So I needed to find somewhere that would heal that, and the science behind the mantras and the food and the love and
It's not only knowing it, experiencing.
Yeah.
So once I ask you the question, what is the difference between information, knowledge, and the wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
So on the internet, what you get is information.
Yeah, and it can be also wrong. There's a lot of wrong information out there as well.
That's why you have to choose the guru which you wisely chose,
Yeah,
who has walked that path.
sure. When I came here, you were coughing. you you were coughing because my energy was because as doctors, disease is dis-ease, and the body stores our thoughts and our perceptions and our unconscious thoughts as well. They say sometimes the unconscious is stronger than the conscious. And so when I got here, the energy was stored in the body and you could feel it.
Yeah, because as I shared other day, we have 5 types of a body,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, jnanamaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha.
Mm-hmm.
But there are another 2 types of a body, the karmic body and the soul body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and when you pass certain walk, things happens, where the parasites start living in your chakras.
People might not know about the parasites.
Okay?
Yeah.
So entities,
Yeah. Well,
they start following.
but can I just share with you just for the group, because a lot of people think this is medieval and this happened thousands of years ago, but that was a misperception.
Mm-hmm.
The Catholic Church says it's 1 in 10,000 cases. I think it's a lot more. The Muslims say it's the bad jinns. They're called jinns. The Buddhists call it bad. What do they call it? Bad entities. I'm not too sure. But Buddha was attacked by Mara. So every religion talks about it. The shamans in South America, where I did my ayahuasca, didn't do enough talking about it, to be honest. But they sort of mentioned it. They protect. That's all they said, which was a shame. But from my experience, after what happened in ayahuasca, it's a real thing that many people in the room saw, not just me. So it wasn't just me seeing it; it was several people in the room saw it. So even Dr. Joe Dispenza used to talk about it, but then he stopped because he said, "What we focus on, we expand." Sadhguru has talked about it as well, but he said, "Don't worry about it. For most people, you just keep on your path and you're fine." But it is worth mentioning, so we can consider it when we do things that aren't aligned. Like I came to you instead of, say, if a shaman saw me, the shaman could get rid of stuff potentially. I'm not trying to convert anyone here, but someone who's like a Catholic priest that learns in Rome, or you under the Hindu Vedic tradition, you said, Mike, you've got to live more purely, which we call virtues in the West.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's very helpful because you had a bit of a cough now, but you were coughing incessantly when I arrived, and I won't go into details about what happened to me on my journey. You're right.
No, because I spoke up a lot.
Yeah, and so basically, coming to see you is what I'm saying is it's a very broad picture. I didn't come here to expect that. By the way, I dealt with it. I thought from some Buddhist people, from talking to my friend who was a priest and blah blah blah, and working with a shaman as well many years ago. But you make us responsible for our health, and you give us wisdom to go along the path, which makes a big difference compared to just sucking things out or healing someone, and then just like we used to heal people in cancer.
That's what I say. I'm not a healer. I'm a guide.
Yeah, you're a guide because people get cancer in other areas. Yeah.
Yeah. So I share that field where you can come, feel the energy, But I'm a guide because guide gives you all that needed for life to come.
Yes.
So you are set free.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how much practices you follow in that, how much virtues you keep in that, it's up to individual. But as a guru, as a guide, is our responsibility to hand over things in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we will be there always. But we need to give freedom to experience, to express, because every person, wisdom is individual. The way the destiny is individual, the wisdom is also individual.
Yeah, and they say that in the Bible as well. I'm not, I'm more of a Christian mystic rather than a Christian that goes to church. But they say we have free will, and God gave us free will, and it's up to us. You've given us tools to help with our health, and you've really helped with mind, body, and spirit. Yeah.
Yeah. So here I would like to again take that point, mention that awakening Kundalini or the spiritual practices, whether it is a mantra, tantra, any kind of it, your virtues, your purity really matters. Okay, not just a quick fix. Okay, spiritual evolution is the journey of a purification of all the senses, not just awakening the Kundalini.
Yeah, because that was the main thing between the West and the East, with all this technology going over there, which you call tantric. It's where we talked about it when we first arrived. If you're riding a tricycle and you fall over, you're not that hurt. But if you're a F-15 fighter pilot or on the Challenger space shuttle, and there's a little nick in the paint, it can just
downfall happens
because the frequency is getting faster, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And the Earth's getting faster at the moment, it looks like, as well. We talked about, so very important to have that wisdom.
Yes. So the Kundalini awakening, or spiritual awakening, is only happens when you are spiritually purified and so where your all the karmas of all your five senses, etc., plays a very important role. Else you will see the people has the information, but they don't radiate that spirituality.
Well, maybe they do, but they can con people for a while. They can have a bit of glamour, but it comes out in the end, yeah.
Yeah, so no need to get, as you said, when the people who has the knowledge of a spirituality and they con the people, so in that case, their downfall happens, as you mentioned, that because they're also going in the frequency.
Well, a lot of gurus have fallen from grace in India, and there's been a lot of cults that you would have seen in the US and other Western nations.
So I also tell my disciple in India, some of you came across, I've been sharing the stories with them, about them as well. So you will attract the guru as your energy is, as your destiny is.
So you're sort of saying, if this is correct, I haven't asked you this, that if a person lives as a house of mirrors and is a bit of a trickster, then they'll attract a guru that's a bit of a trickster. Is that correct, or not really? Or the guru can just fall from grace all of a sudden, and you need discernment in the third eye to pick that up. How would you reply to that question?
Okay. So here I have seen like some of the student comes, they get referred by someone, and I know that their time has not come. One is that. Second thing, I know they're looking for just quick fix. Third thing, they're seasonal. Okay. So
Quick fix, yeah.
So according to that, I take the decision whether I have to share my knowledge with them. Should I give them in my circle or not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So does student have to
Yeah.
see whether that guru is radiating that energy. Okay. Or just talking on the podcast or the YouTube channel with those heavy, unheard words. Then you are after the glamour and the media.
Yeah, I told you with my teacher, I'm not going to name him at the moment. Maybe I named him in the past video, but it's not about making someone wrong. It was my choice and my karma to choose that person. But I followed him for 13 years, and he would be considered a guru because he's my spiritual teacher, and he gave me other. So he was more of a, what do you call them, a nun? He taught many things anyway. And so I could feel the glamour of the knowledge because...
you said the glamour of knowledge. It's a good word.
Yeah, because before COVID, and we had a big transition during COVID, that we didn't get that much good stuff on the internet, you know? Maybe we did, but you had to search a lot. Now it's getting better, okay? We may have some problems with AI, but we won't go into that. But I felt in the room that I couldn't feel the love, and I'd share it with a colleague of mine in the room. He was a doctor as well. I said, I just don't feel the love in the room. I feel an emptiness. So I was getting feedback, but I was ignoring it because the glamour of the knowledge that I was getting was so great in cosmology and all the different ologies that I hung in there. He said do a process with language. Before that, I was doing meditation. I was doing reading great books from people that helped me with my fall from grace. It's my fall from grace. I'm not blaming anyone. I decided to choose these teachers and so forth. But I was in my head too much, and the knowledge was just off. We talked about the Luciferic, there's truth and falsehood. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone for it. And so I was sort of falling down what we used to play as kids, snakes and ladders. I was going down the with the snakes, and then, as you see in wars, say in Ukraine or at the moment in Gaza, initially it becomes a Luciferic sort of command. We must go in there, but then we must cause atrocities. You see, so it's a really fine line between discernment and what I've noticed with you is as I do these so-called basic things like chanting and stuff, there's a lot of depth to that because there's frequencies and the language of Sanskrit and so forth. But I'm getting more discernment, and that's important for everyone because
it's okay. Every guru contributes something. Okay, even like in our thing, Dattatreya, like when you will know more about India, who had 24 gurus. The nature was guru, animals was guru, birds was guru, this everything is in this nature is a guru.
It's all feedback, yeah.
Okay, they all give us the feedback. And when there is a destiny, you will meet the destined guru. If 4 years back, you would have seen my video, you would have said, oh, India is a third country. What this lady is going to do? Probably that could have been because here you don't see any knowledge glamour. It is like a sheer truth. Okay, you need to take this bitter pill.
But you do have top universities in the world here. There's a university here like MIT, I heard, that's just as good as MIT. But you're right. I would have thought, no, this is not for me. I've got people that have got science background, have got a doctorate or whatever. I would have been more prejudiced. And I was also after the glamour.
So when the time comes
Mm.
when it is destined, ready, the right guru will appear. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I say like there is a one guru in you, self guru.
Mm.
Ultimate guru is always Shiva or
Mm.
Brahma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when you both guru agrees that okay, now time has come to learn this thing, so someone Siddha Guru will be entering over here.
Yeah.
So it is a trust of the Guru in you, trust of that Guru in the middle person. Okay.
Yes.
So this is how when the right time comes, both the people are ready, the Guru will appear.
Yeah. When
And
the
I
student's
really
ready, the teacher appears. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like that word, glamour of knowledge.
Yeah.
And I really feel sad. Okay, there are two things happen. I've been hosting the guests for so many years
Mm.
and seeing them, and when they come over here and we have a session and they say, oh, we never do that. Oh, I've been practicing yoga for 28 years, but nobody explained me this way.
Mm.
As you also said, like you cover the yoga in the depth.
Mm.
Those are not just a physical moment. Okay. So the second thing is one is a glamour of information, and second thing, like the child is sick, the person like mother or something will give the honey in this one. They will put the honey little, and okay.
Mm.
So what the person will think? Oh, this finger is sweet,
Yes.
and this finger healed me.
Mm.
They forget the honey.
Mm.
So these two things need to be conscious to depend on, so how much is too much,
Yeah.
and the clear consciousness to
Yeah.
see the clearly things,
To see things clearly. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot more questions to be answered
Yeah.
in coming sessions.
Coming sessions. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.